Good morning, Adam. Where art thou? Hey, I had a word for you this morning. As I was reading my devotion, I had realized something. And we're talking about love. I think this is an issue that most men deal with on a regular basis. Do we really know what love is? Did we ever achieve love? And do we ever really give love? And do we have love now? I was reading Mark 12, verse 30. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. And the second is like, namely, unto this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. This is no other commandment greater than these. And I thought about it. I've realized in my own life, we're only talking about myself. And I encourage you, brothers, to examine yourself and be real with your own self. But I had realized something when I was reading that scriptures that I wonder if I really loved anyone, including myself. Have I ever loved myself with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, with all my strength? And if I can't love myself, then how could I really love anybody else or my neighbor? And I thought about it. Then I went back and I reflected over my life, and I said, I remember the time when I first came to know Jesus. And at the time, I didn't hear many men talk about they love Jesus. It was considered to be a sign of weakness, or you were only the sisters love Jesus, along with the women. Men, we don't love Jesus. We're men. And I grew up with that, thinking that we could love Jesus, but we had to love him in church. We don't talk about him and testify of his goodness. I didn't hear many men talk about him unless there's something tragic happened. So I kind of looked at it and I asked myself, I'm realizing that love takes time. And I had to look at my relationship with Christ. When I came to know Jesus, I knew him in my head. I grew up with picture Bible. So I knew him that way in my head, had knowledge of him. As I got older, I realized there are benefits for loving Jesus. But then again, I started to have a relationship with Jesus through conversation and prayer, but I really didn't love him. I really wanted what he had to offer. And I asked myself, how many of us are in relationships where we go along with the program just to see how it's going to benefit us? And I realized, wow, after all these years, but you know what? I'm thinking that all of that was love. I kind of wanted to be loved, but most of it was just lust. It was something I wanted, either for myself, or I wanted to make the other person feel good, or I wanted to do whatever the other person wanted because I wanted something in return. That's the wrong kind of love. That's much more like lust. So it made me realize that I had to ask myself, even today, have I actually really loved anyone? And I had to admit that no, love takes time. It even took me time to love myself. Can you get ready for that, my brothers? It took time for me to even love myself, for real. And not in my head, and not in lip service, but actually love myself. It took years. And I appreciate all those things that I went through, the ups and the downs, and the life happens events that I have endured through the love of Jesus. He helped me to go through that. I might have changed, but Jesus always remained the same. No matter what I was doing, no matter what I was involved with, I still made a little time just to give a little prayer, to speak to him. And I always believed he was always with me because the word said he would never leave me nor forsake me. And it also read that if you diligently seek me, he will give me the desires of my heart. So that was motivation enough for me to start with. But then as time went on, I really began to love Jesus for real. The things he's done for my life, the way he's changed my life, my heart, everything about me has changed now that he is the center of my life. So I can now say that he is no longer in my head. He is definitely in my heart. there's a place in my heart just for Jesus. It doesn't matter what goes on around me. Everybody doesn't accept Jesus, for whatever reason. Until they can come to that place of loving Jesus, they will never be able to love themselves. And if they can't love themselves, how can they love anyone else? So I'm thinking that's the main point right there. Loving Jesus, loving yourself, and then you're able to love others. So my brothers, I encourage you, really examine yourself. Do you love Jesus? All right? Do you treat him as a close friend, someone in your head, or is he in your heart? Do you have a lustful relationship with Jesus, or no relationship at all? Check yourself. But I'm telling you, I encourage you, the moment that you find a place in your heart to love Jesus, you learn how to love yourself. And man, when you love yourself, it's easy to love someone else. You don't take other people for granted. You treat them the same way that you want to be treated. It's in the Word. It is truly in the Word. When you get closer to Jesus, you fall in love with him. You get to fall in love with him. There's nothing weak about falling in love with Jesus. Matter of fact, a man shows his strength based on the love he has for Jesus first. God said, seek the kingdom first and his righteousness. All these things will be added unto you. I'm a believer. I'm proof. I'm evidence. I'm a testimony. Go after Jesus. Open up your heart and let him in. You guys have a great day. And don't just stop here. Know that he loves you. And he wants you just the way you are. Will you accept him in your life today? Fall in love with him. Get him out of your head. Get him in your heart. Again, Adam, where art thou? You be blessed. Stand up strong. Hold your head up.
Open my heart, Lord. Open my heart. 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 Too many years I've lived my life thinking I had the answers and could control my life. I looked high and low, trying to find my path, not sure which way to go. No. But through my years of traveling, backwards and forward, always tumbling down and lost my way. Oh, but I don't wanna continue going down the wrong path. I want a better chance for love. I want a better chance for life. Oh, open my heart, Lord. Open my heart. 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 I now realize that I can't keep my heart all by itself without anyone. Love is not love if there's no one to share it with. I realize now I've got to open up my heart and let you inside and make a difference. Lord, that I'm ready and willing to try. Oh, open my heart, Lord. Open my heart. Open my heart, Lord. Open my heart. Oh, open my heart, Lord. Open my heart. Oh, open my heart, Lord. Open my heart. And I realize that you have a love deep inside, and love that never fail, and never leave me. You always be by my side. I now realize that I need you in my life, and I can't deny I've gotta have you in my life. Open my heart, Lord. Open my heart. I want you to dwell inside of me. I want all the love that you have for me. Open my heart, Lord. Open my heart, oh Lord. Open my heart, Lord. Open my heart. I want you to live inside of me. I want you to be control of me. I'm willing to give myself to you. No one else. My love is your love, and my heart belongs to you. And with you in the center of my life, I know love nobody can open up my heart.